Hello and welcome to 7 Minute Guitar. Also check us out on facebook.com/7Minute Guitar for the resources that are used in these videos. Hello friends, this is not a Theory Thursday. Today we're going to talk about scales. And what I'm going to do, we've talked about the different forms of scales. The C form, A form, G form, E form, and D form. Those 5 forms of the major scales. Now, using those same 5 forms, I wanted today to introduce the minor scales. And the reason I'm doing it this way is I want you to know you do not have to learn a whole bunch of more different types of scales. You can use these same 5 major types, the forms of the scales, and use them to make the minor scale. Let me get this set up and I'll show you how it's done. We will start with the C form major. Now, we all know that our major scale, right here, this C form, we've played this before. Here's our root note and here's our root note. For the major, I placed it in blue. I hope it comes across well on the screen here. And for the minor, I've placed it in green. It's the exact same scale, it's just the root of a minor starts here and the root of a major starts here. If you relative the minor to the major, this is the 6th degree of the major scale. We've talked about that before in one of the Theory Thursdays and in other lessons. So here's the 1st degree of a major scale, here's the 6th degree of a major scale, and that makes it what's called the natural minor. I took a screenshot of a D major scale in the C form, right here at the 5th fret. Now remember, this is just a form type of scale. You can move this scale anywhere on the neck. It'll just change when you put the root note. If you put the root note right here at the 7th fret, it'll be an E major scale. So, with this, notice that the D here, we have a C sharp, we have an F sharp, our B is here, if we made that the minor. Now let's take a look at, wrong direction, B minor, the natural minor. We have the B, the C sharp, the F sharp. It's exactly the same. A minute ago our root notes were right here, right in the D major. Now our B minor. This holds true for every single form of scale that you use all your fingers. This C form, that A form, the G form. Next I've moved up D major scale still. So we still have this root at the 5th fret. Again, remember, it's the style of scale, so you can move it anywhere on the neck. We have this A form scale, D major. The blue dots here indicate the root of the major. The green dots here indicate, excuse me, the root of the minor. The same fingering, the same scale, but here's a D major, here's a B minor. Oh, real quick, do not confuse this one, which looks really similar to a G major form scale. Let me show you that. Sometimes when people are new at scales, they will fall out of a minor scale and accidentally jump into a major scale. This is where your ear training comes in, because you will know the difference between these scales. This minor scale, 1, 2, half step to the 3rd, versus 1, 2, hold step to the 3rd. Even though the roots are on the same fret, same location, same everything, the B minor scale uses the A form scale. The B major scale uses the G form scale. Just make sure you don't mix those up while you're practicing. Next we have a C major in the G form scale and the A minor using this same form scale. Just remember, we start on the 6th degree of the scale versus the major starts on the 1st degree of the scale. So, don't get caught in the trap of trying to turn this one into that E form major scale. You'll definitely hear the difference if you do, and it won't work out. So again, this is the 3rd of the 5 styles. Practice this. Here is the 4th of the 5 styles. I'm doing an A major scale on the E form scale, and then it uses a G minor on that same scale. Why an A sharp major? Well, it fits right here, and just to show you and reiterate once again, this form of scale can go anywhere on the neck, and the form doesn't change, just the root note does. So, here we have A sharp major, there's our root note right there, and G minor, same scale, just the root note. Remember again the relative, this is our 1, that's our 6, and I guess if you really wanted to get creative, there is another root note. Lastly, but definitely not leastly, G major scale, D form scale, and the E minor. Our D major, of course, will be putting the root notes here. Our E minor will put our root notes here. Again, remember, you can move these scales anywhere on the neck. Thanks for coming with me and seeing how these forms make major and minor scales. I took photos along the way, so check out facebook.com/7minute guitar, and in the scales photo album, that's where these will be. Thumbs up, subscribe, thank you.